So to give you a sense of how a child might feel who's trying to figure out what words mean using syntactic bootstrapping, using the linguistic context, the syntactic structure, and the syntactic frames that they appear in, what I highly recommend you do at some point is go check out this book by Matthew Fitt, written in 2000, called But'n'Ben A-Go-Go. And what it is it's written in basically Matthew Fitt's idea of what the Scots language will be like in some dystopian future. So it's full of words that are unfamiliar, that you have to figure out from context, and there is no glossary. So reading this thing is an exercise in syntactic bootstrapping. And this is an excerpt to give you a sense of how this feels, right? So I'll read it out loud so you can hear kind of, sometimes it hears also auditorially the help figure something out. If you can hear how it might be pronounced, it maybe sounds similar to a word you know. So here we go. But his heart cowed him on. He'd now had the information he had been trying to geloss on his own all these years, or part of it anyway. A whisper, a half-truth, and the time had come to make secure. He would meet with Brune and take from him what was needed. Right? So some of those may have sounded familiar. Maybe some contextual clues help you figure out that this is, from the sound of it or the way they're used. But his heart called him on. He now had the information he had been trying to geloss on his ain all these years, or part of it anyway. A whisper, a half-truth, and the time had come to make sakar. He would meet with Brune and take from him what was needed. Right? So we still have these words in pink that it's not clear, maybe, what they are. So maybe from the way that they're used, we can try to converge on what they might mean, even if we don't have an exact meaning, right? So maybe all on his own is a very common expression. So maybe in is his own, and that kind of fits, trying to do something on his own all these years. And this one, fe. He would meet with Brune and take fe him what was needed. Take from him feels like it's a kind of word that could fit there. It's a relational word. Taking, we're talking about taking from him, probably not to him, but some kind of relational word. So maybe own and from. But what about geloss and sakar? These are absolutely syntactic bootstrapping situations. So he now had the information he'd been trying to gelos. Okay, it's some kind of verb. What does it mean? Well, maybe from context he had information, and you have this feeling that he's just gotten this information that he's trying to maybe to figure out or to intuit, something mental, right? Some ferret out, some kind of mental activity involving information, because information is a mental construct. And what about sakar? A whisper, a half-truth, and the time had come to make sakar. Well, if you think about it, it's kind of like secure, maybe sure. It's sort of an adjective. You feel like it's some kind of property to make it what? To make sure is a common expression. So maybe sakar is sure. But we really don't know, right? And so again, we sort of have zeroed in on this as an action. This is probably some kind of property. And based on the way they're appearing in context, we've kind of zeroed in this is kind of a mental state activity. This is maybe something like sure or certain. And there we are, right? Like that's what it's like to use syntactic bootstrapping. And again, I really highly recommend this book to get a sense of how to do it yourself, if and get a sense of what that's like.